If you keep starting habits and quitting after a few days, it's not because you're lazy. I used to be exactly like that. And these 3 habits are what took me from being inconsistent to being disciplined every single day. So first habit. So when you're starting to implement a new habit, you want to do it straight away from day 1. But what if I tell you that this is literally destroying your discipline in the long term? For example, I wanted to become a content creator and I was feeling motivated, but then I found myself freeze the moment I was about to press record. And this is because I demanded perfection since the beginning. I wanted to do everything right with literally the first video. I wanted it to become viral, and that's why I sort of hesitated a little bit every time I posted a video, because I wanted to have good lighting, a good camera, a good microphone. But then I realized, what the I'm waiting to be perfect, which is never going to happen. Perfection is going to come every time you choose to do something, even though you're not ready for it. Because if you keep waiting to have the perfect settings to start a business or something like that, you will never be ready. Perfectionism is secretly sabotaging you. You are just hiding behind excuses because you are afraid to start imperfect. You know why? Because it crushes your ego. Your ego hates being a beginner at something. So one thing that really helped me to pass through my perfectionism, and you can see also from the first videos that I posted in this channel, I didn't have a microphone, I didn't have the perfect settings, and I still don't have. I didn't know how to create a good thumbnail, I didn't know how to make great storytelling. Just because I started to let myself do it, to make it exist first, and then refine it along the way. Because there are people there who are already starting the dream business that you want so bad to start, and they have already failed, learned the lesson, and then refined their craft, and they got already successful before you even tried. Because this is actually the key. When you want to build a habit that is going to help you achieve a goal, you need to start it knowing that you are going to fail, that you are going to inevitably learn some lessons. That's how you grow. That's how you master that habit. And that's how you're going to finally become your higher self who already lives their dream life. So habit number 2, imagine your higher self, okay? This is very important. You're going to know why. He or she is already living your dream life. Imagine waking up tomorrow, already having everything you have ever desired. How does that make you feel? Because eventually you're going to be there. What if I tell you that the reason why you still are not that version of yourself yet is because of how you approach your habits? You know, a lot of us say, okay, I'm going to do this and this in this specific date and hour, and that's it. And honey, this is not how it works. This is the hardest way to master a habit and be consistent with it. This is exactly the thing that is preventing you to become consistent in the first place. Because your brain wants to stay in your old familiar version of your reality where you don't go to the gym, you are not running a business that is so stressful, and it wants comfort, you know, and it doesn't want to feel uncomfortable with all these new habits. Because every time you start a habit, you just feel as if it's misaligned with you, that as if there's something that is blocking you from starting that goal from the first place. And yeah, sometimes it can be perfectionism, like we said before, but sometimes it can be just a problem of embodiment. See, because once you start to stop focusing on your goals, on when you need to do that, you need to reframe it in a way that is going to make your brain feel first safe with this new set of habits, and then everything is going to be effortless. You're going to become effortlessly consistent. And how do you do that? You need to visualize yourself as the version of yourself who is going to the gym, who is a successful business owner, who is naturally good and consistent at it. You need to start affirming to yourself, I am successful. I am naturally consistent with my workouts. I am whatever desire you want. Because your higher self already knows that they are the type of person who does this and that. You need to embody your habit. You need to switch from focusing on goal to focus on your identity. See yourself as that person who does these things, who is consistent. This is the easiest way for your brain to feel safer with it, because what this does is that your brain is going to finally see yourself as that person safer in this new reality that you're trying to create. And therefore, it's going to move you faster into achieving that goal, because now you're just effortlessly consistent. Every time you're going to the gym, you're just going to do it naturally. It's going to be automatic, like brushing your teeth, because you see yourself as someone who is brushing their teeth every single day. And you're doing it even though you're feeling unmotivated and all this stuff, because it's already deeply seated in your identity. The more you see yourself as the new version of yourself and then take the action, the more effortless it's going to be for you to be disciplined at it. And let me also affirm it to you. You are already her or him. And lastly, but not least important, third habit. Okay, so I know that this habit is going to be so hard to implement and it sounds also cheesy and cliche, but there's a reason why it's so important and effective, because you are there waiting for someone to help you achieve your goals, to help you to stay consistent, to remind you that you need to do that thing, and you're not telling it to yourself. You keep waiting for motivation, for inspiration in order to start that goal, in order to go to the gym. And I also did that. I was procrastinating when it comes to content creation. I remember that in the past, I would literally post like one video in 6 months. I didn't know how to stop letting my laziness get in the way. But then I discovered this little secret. Because let me remind you, every time you are feeling unmotivated, feeling bad, and making excuses, you are pushing your desire away from you. And your higher self didn't do any of this. Instead, they implemented the 3-minute rule. Oh my god, once I did this, I was able to be consistent every single day, and now discipline became my second nature. Like, if I want to start a new habit tomorrow, I'm going to stick to it, even though it's uncomfortable or new for my brain and unfamiliar, because I started to stop being afraid of discomfort. What this 3-minute rule does is that basically you need to just allow yourself to start that goal, to just show up for it for 3 minutes, and that's it. 99% of the times, you are going to continue to do that. Sometimes, the discomfort lies on you starting that thing, and that's it. From you grabbing the pen and the book and then start your homework, from you just wearing your outfit to go to the gym, and then finally you're going to be in flow and continue to do that habit consistently. But then in rare cases, it's going to happen that even after 3 minutes, you're going to feel unmotivated. But it's normal, okay? It's part of the process. The more you show up, the more you are training your brain to just start. Sometimes you just don't need to be perfect to do that goal for 1 hour. If you don't feel like it after 3 minutes, then you can also stop doing that. Obviously, don't make it become a habit, but you know what I mean. Now I'm able to literally post 3 videos per week and 1 short TikTok, IG, Snap every single day. And it has become my second nature. Yeah, sometimes I feel discomfort, I feel lazy, I don't want to do it, but I still show up. You need to arrive to the point that discomfort no longer scares you. The desire to complete that goal is higher than your discomfort or fear of doing it. And you're going to eventually get there. So yeah, watch your life change after implementing these 3 habits. If you want to become the best version of yourself in 2026 and don't repeat 2025 ever again, you need to watch this video. Those are all the things that you need to do before the new year even starts, that is going to make your daily goals and habits in 2026 even more effortless. See you there, Germananer!